Hello and welcome back to Icebane Gaming's Month of Valentine's Every Hole is a Goal Spectacular. I've already played a little bit of Love Thyself, the Horatio story, and I liked it. So, I'm thinking I'm going to continue this story from where I left off. Which would be this one right here. Last time, I went on a date with two of the other Horatio, and basically I'm just a clone with no memory that I should have. So, let's get started. I'm weirded out, but nonetheless thankful for the opportunity to make my way home. Exhausted. I've never been happier to see my bed. I dive face first into it and instantly fall asleep. Over the next few days, I settle into a routine, marked by classes, mundane and strange alike. As much as possible, I try to fit in with the other cadets. It's not always easy to blend in, but Horatio society seems to be as much about navel gazing as it is about surreptitiously checking up on how others are getting on with their own navel gazing. However, starting to like it, or I'm just doing it to survive. I could continue to pretend that I am like them, or I could just end up becoming that myself. Let's see. Which do I want to do? I'm thinking I'm going to say I'm just doing this to survive. I remember the inept clone and the recycling chute. I am not fooling myself. The moment I let the mask down, I'm toast. So I do the homework and try my best. Master Sergeant Extras B12 and the instructor clone I've learned was called third-rate Chamberlain McGriz Turgis F07 joined Master Aternus at PO2 to lead specific classes. From our accelerated program, our primary purpose becomes increasingly clear. We need to pass the inspection ceremony from Horatio Prime with flying colors at any cost. Learning how to actually perform at this Isiander's Academy, well, maybe later. We learn that a big rehearsal is planned for the end of the week. My classmates seem excited. Personally, I am thrilled. Nothing scares me more than this, or I don't care either way. Well, me personally, I would probably not care either way, so I'm going with that. At this stage, I'm exhausted with pretending. One way or the other, things will happen to me, and I'll do my best to survive them. And most importantly, remember, do not mess this up. Do not screw this up, cadets. Whatever. The ceremony rehearsal is taking place today, on the concourse. My classmates and I are arrayed in two lines, facing one another. The excitement is palpable for this part, as we are apparently going to perform the Imperial Bass Dance, a courtly dance that is extremely popular a few centuries ago. This explains why we've had absolutely no dance classes so far. Us newly decanted clones, and our instructors alike, know the dance very well. Normally. I would say that my memory of this is foggy, but of course, I have absolutely no recollection of this dance or anything ever. The only things I know about dancing in the Horatio Empire are things I learned while browsing my holoscreen. First, that there are dozens of dances that have come and gone in favor throughout the centuries. Second, that dancing is sometimes seen as a conduit for social advancement, as it is a chance to mingle with the powerful. It has apparently been used as a plot point in countless stories and dramas, to the point where it is considered a well-worn cliché. This cliché, though, most certainly contains a kernel of truth. We have paired up randomly with one another. Some of us, having the honor of dancing alongside our instructors, I note that Aternus PO2 is partnered with Exodus B12. Are you afraid of something, Aternus B02? My own dance companion is not anyone I've ever talked to. Bearing the disappointing grunt when our respective names were drawn, I have already forgotten his. Attention, cadets. Every me on your marks. He presses a couple of keys on his holopad. And music. This dance is not the worst that they could have picked. In based dance, the leading couple performs the moves first, and the other couples replicate. This leaves me a couple of beats to try to process what I'm seeing and mirror their movements. I'm going to need all the help I can get. They start a step forward and a deep bow with the with an arm extension. I can do that. I nod towards my partner. He grudgingly nods back. Don't be like that, buddy. We're in this together. A step forward and a deep bow. I put my right foot in the front, pull my weight on it, and bend at the waist while looking at my partner's feet. So far, so good. Aternus PO2 and Exodus B12 have straightened back up, and are now taking a side step to the left and back without moving the right foot. Back and left without right foot. Back to their left foot and come back. Out moving the right foot. Step to my left, come back. Step back. Back to square one. Ooh, that's a toughie. It's either my left or their left. I'm gonna say my left. Slide my foot to the left in a posture that is reminiscent of what I like to call the Exodus B12 power stance, and back. Then I step backwards, shift my weight equally among both feet, and come back. I'm slightly off tempo, but I don't think anyone has noticed. The leading couple starts a series of small steps towards one another. After 5, they stop. Then sidestep towards the right, come back, then step backwards, come back again, and take a deep bow with another arm flourish. Okay, so stop, sidestep right, back, step backwards, come back, deep bow, arm flourish. Okay. Sidestep towards right, come back, step back, come back again, deep bow, arm flourish. Okay. It's the most complicated step yet. Step right, step back, and a bow. This is stepping back, not step right, then step back. There we go. And a bow. That one. I take 5 cautious steps forward, focusing on my feet. A step to the right, my foot slides a bit in the polished floor, but I recover gracefully with my own kind of arm flourish. I step back just a little too fast, correct my course, in a lunge that brings me too close to my dance partner. Take a deep bow and lose balance halfway through, headbutting him in his own elbow. I completely stuttered that. I take a deep bow and lose balance halfway through, headbutting him right in his own bow and sending us both sprawling on the floor. He seems absolutely furious. You moron. Can't you watch your where you step? The two lines of dancers stop. Every me is staring at us. This is bad. What kind of subpar batch do you come from if you can't even follow along? Look, the music stops too. This is very bad. Extras B12 pushes his way through us. What happened here, cadets? Explain yourselves. My classmate wastes no time in throwing me under the bus. I start yammering something about having slipped on the slick floor. I notice Aternus PO2 has joined the circle of onlookers. I decide the best course of action is to be quiet now. Extras B12 summarizes the situation for the headmaster. It seems first level initiate Magrez Pizzazz F21 fell onto the other cadet. Aternus PO2 turns to us. Is the bass dance too difficult for you, initiates? My classmates breathes in protest, but a gesture from the headmaster stops him in his tracks. Not one more word. He raises his voice to address the crowd. The ceremony rehearsal is cancelled. You can thank Initiate Pizzazz F21 for this initiative. You can go back to your quarters now. There are audible gasps and murmurs. Aternus PO2 turns back to me. Initiate, come with us. He moves to leave, Extras B12 in tow. Yes sir, stay silent. I'm just gonna stay silent because that would probably hurt me to speak up. I get up and follow, a few steps behind the pair. I have a bad feeling about this. We make our way through the quiet halls, with neither of them speaking. We reach an area I have never set foot in. The station is as quiet as always, but in here, under these circumstances, it has a certain oppressive feeling. As we turn the corner, Aternus PO2 throws me a sidelong glance that sends shivers down my spine. The headmaster steps in through an otherwise unremarkable door. Extras B12 stops, waits for me to enter, and the door closes silently behind him. Despite my precarious situation, I can't help but stare at the opulence of the room. This is everything I've seen in my series, and more. The view is breathtaking. Aternus PO2 is looking out the window, his back to us. After a few moments, he turns around and breaks the silence. Initius Pizzazz P21. It is bad when a newly decanted clone catches my attention. Do you know why? No, sir. The defining trait every me here have in common is that we value above all else is ambition. We want to get places, gain power. Sometimes, well, most times, we seize it from the cold dead hands of the brother who held it before us. We want to be seen in the prime light, and to operate in the shadows whenever we need to do more unsightly actions. The worst that could happen is for somebody else to catch us in a situation of weakness. Unfortunately for me, my ability to produce an awe-inspiring batch of cadets that can pass muster is currently in jeopardy. Your antics today have left me in a precarious situation. One of my cadets not meeting our standards would be a delay in our esteemed Emperor's plans. A delay I would be responsible for. It might be a lot easier for me to just get rid of you and pretend you were never here in the first place. We are, however, as you no doubt have noticed, rather severely short-staffed aboard the station. It was loath to reveal the extent of the situation to the idiots overseeing the cloning facilities in the system, for reasons you can't imagine. Therefore, until we have discreetly replenished our complement of station personnel, I would rather not have to get rid of anyone, whether they happen to displease me or not. Whoops. Return. I have two options when it comes to what will happen to you. The first one is the easiest. Assign you on a special mission and send you to investigate the disappearance of our patrol. With some luck, you might never come back, and if you do, we will have learned valuable information. In any case, you're out of the way. The second option exists only because we have invested time and resources in you, and there is a tiny chance you might turn out alright, given the proper training. A second chance, if you will, to prove that you can perform like any of your brothers. At the same time, I would hate to extend this offer to you if you were not ready to step up. Do you understand? The choice, ultimately, is yours. Are you ready to put in the effort, or is this all proving too much for you? I am amazed I managed to not say anything snarky or otherwise during this entire monologue. Let's see, special mission, I'm probably not going to. I will do my best to be worthy, sir. I'll train even harder. Or what would you recommend? I'll do my best. This is what I was hoping to hear, and who knows, you might even succeed. Turgus F07 will show you your new quarters now. Just got an achievement, beauty is the truth. While we are here, I would also like to congratulate you on your promotion. Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer Magrez Pizzazz F21. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? No, it sounds like a mouthful. The door behind us hisses open and Turgus F07 comes in. Grand Headmaster? Take our esteemed Pizzazz F21 to his new quarters in the officer's wing. Put him on the accelerated version of the accelerated program. You heard me? Very well, sir. If you'll follow me. An officer, eh? I may have misjudged you, Pizzazz F21. Congratulations. Thanks, I'll do my best, or it is Junior Probational Assistant Petty Officer Magrez Pizzazz F21 now. Remember it. Well, I'm actually trying to get on his good side, so I'm probably not going to want to be snarky to him. I'll just thank him. We are silent the rest of the way. We pass through the concourse, then dive into a hallway similar to the one we had just left. It seems I'm going to live in a nice part of the station. This is a definite improvement. Eventually, Turgus F07 stops in front of a door and turns to me. He speaks up in a studied monotone. Section A9, Hallway 14, Door 23. This is your new home. He pushes the door open and gestures at the inside. After you. I step into my room. Turns out, my room is a suite, and it looks amazing. The bed is bigger, and there seems to be an actual bedroom, a sitting area, an actual bathroom, a sitting area, some nice shelves, and a desk. It looks like a place somebody might live. Actually, it looks like the place somebody lives in already. It is now painfully obvious that this space was occupied by someone probably not long ago. The bed is undone for once. There is a uniform on the shower mat. There's a book on the nightstand, its spine cracked from being open upside down. And of course, there are the photos. I take a closer look. They show several Horatios in various social settings, sitting around by a fountain on the concourse, having drinks in the mess, or squishing close together to fit into the frame of the picture. They look happy. Then there's a picture of a Horatio in full battle dress, standing at attention with a weapon. This guy probably died. The markings on his chest place him somewhere in the middle ranks, a junior officer. Was he the brother who lived here? Was he a friend? A boyfriend? Difficult to say what the relationships between all these people were when all of them look the same. Whose place is this? It's yours now. Who lived here before me? Does it matter? I guess not, or stare him until he answers. I'm actually interested in who this person was. They were obviously a person of importance. We stare at each other for a second. He sighs. Okay. These were the quarters of Acting Deputy Probational Officer McGrath's Apparatus F-20. What happened to him? He was part of the cadet crew that was on board the training exploration fleet, the one that disappeared recently. We know of no survivors. I point at the photos. He glances at them, then looks back at me. What about the rest of them? To the best of my knowledge, they were part of the crew too. All gone. Any idea what he was like? He looks on his holopad for a second, flicking screens rapidly. Going by the record, he was a very gifted and succeeded in all of his endeavors, and was on a rising trajectory until this happened. Why do you care? It's not like you're gonna meet him or any of them. He gestures at nothing in particular. Anyway, this is all yours now. Feel free to do whatever you like with your personal effects of your predecessor. Your first classes start tomorrow morning. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. Good night, Pizzazz F-21. Good night, Fergus F-07. He leaves the room and shuts the door behind him. I am left standing alone in a room of someone who looked like me. I looked at his personal photos scattered here and there. What should I do with all that? I would say trash it, but that feels like shitting on the dead. Even though they're clones, same as me, I'll keep them. In a way, they were family. I sit back on my bed and look at the ceiling. It's been an eventful day. I close my eyes just for a second and try to process what happened today. My mouth is dry when I wake up. I step into the bathroom and consider my options briefly before getting into the shower. The water temperature reminds me of the waterfall in the greenhouse. Did I make a mistake in choosing this mission? I guess it's too late to back out now. I step out and I take a look at the holoscreen in what I guess would be the parlor. I can make out my reflection beyond the haptic overlay. I should say I look tired, or the face of perfection. I'm gonna go with the face of perfection. I look so much like him, it's almost painful. I wink at myself before pressing the button, bringing up today's schedule. Hey there, and thanks for watching Ice Cream Gaming's month of Valentine's Every Hole is a Goal Spectacular. Today we failed at a dance and got a mission for it. Next episode, we start to figure out what that mission might actually be. Thank you all very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.